Hello, hello, and happy Friday. I can't believe the weeks just seem to be flying by. I can't either believe that we're almost halfway through the year. We're almost at the end of June. How crazy is that? Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit today about the new moon on the 28th, 29th. So it's a new moon in Cancer. It'll be the 28th if you're Eastern US and west of that, and anywhere east of that. So Ireland, UK, it's going to be at 3:52, I think, AM on the 29th, and east anywhere east of that, it'll be on the 29th. And interestingly enough, on a numerology level, the 28th and the 29th are very interesting numbers because 28 reduces to 10 and reduces to 1, and 29, of course, reduces to 11. So that's like double ones and double new beginnings. So on both dates, it's sort of a lot of new beginning energy. And of course, the new moon is always that new beginning. It's always about new beginnings, starting new things. Now, usually, there with a new moon, it's most likely sort of a gentler angles because the sun and the moon are conjunct. It's not as opposing as the sun opposite the moon, but there are a lot of oppositions, and not oppositions with squares, and kind of a lot of drama might be going on. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. I'm then going to read some cards and just give some advice on. I'm wondering, will I do that first? I might read the cards first and just shift things around a little bit. So I'm going to read some cards for the energy of the new moon and this weekend, and maybe what you could do. What we need to do, what we need to set in place. Just get this. It's very crooked on the screen. I seem to be sitting in the wrong place. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to read some. I'm going to pull a couple of the tarot and just connecting with my guides and angels, and anybody who's listening with yours. We're all connected, that source energy, and just asking for a clear and open reading in love and light, with some insights into what we need to do this weekend. I'll give you more after this, but let's ask the guides first. Okay. So nothing is jumping out, so I'm going to cut the pack in 3. This. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Okay. I love this actually, and this I wouldn't have thought of saying, but it actually is quite relevant. So the 8 of water. Now, that's very relevant for this moon because there's a lot of emotion. So then the moon and the sun are in Cancer. Cancer is quite an emotional sign. Um, I'll talk about that when I'm reading my notes, but there is a huge amount of emotions, both high, tense emotions, but also, kind of nurturing, gentle, sensitive emotions. This is the 8 of water, and the 8 of water is signifying that there's a need or a desire to move on from something, from where we are. And life is always changing, life is always evolving, and I feel that we need to move on. We need to always know the next steps and be looking at the next thing. We're never done. We're only done when we're ready to physically move on from this earth plane, regardless of whether we feel that we're finished. That's what ends. But we're always improving, always upper moving for something better or something higher, and the search for something more meaningful. So this may be relevant for you right now. I know this is very much for me, and I'm looking at, changing things around and how you know, going deeper and more meaningful. So this is probably very common and something that a lot of people are feeling right now. Are you feeling that right now? Um, Especially on a spiritual and an emotional level, there may be that need to move on from somebody, move on from what you're doing in life, move on from, you know, maybe a pattern or a situation that you're stuck on, or maybe just move on to make things a little bit just different. Okay, so look at that. And because we're at the last few degrees now, in this in this moon, the previous moon, so just before the new moon, we're at this later, this the next 3 days or so, or four, 3.5, are going to feel, you may feel tired, you may feel moody, you may feel something's got to go, something's got to give. And this is, as the moon is waning, this is a brilliant time to really look in deep and see what is it we need to let go of. Hi, Lindsay, good to see you. Um, so uh, for this weekend, just get deep, have some time where you can realize what it is that you need and want to let go of. The next card is release. Now, just even, you know, release, let go, is what has come to me in this, and this is talking about the end of a phase or a situation. I can't begin to tell you how many times this has come up for me lately, and it really come up and sort of um in card readings that I'm doing for clients as well, the end of an old phase or and or a situation. Look at that as a good thing. What is it that you want to release? And you know, we're all so done with things at the moment. I really feel we're at the very end stages of a phase, and that we are at the begin where then we will be at the beginning of something much, much better, bigger. This may signify something spiritual as well. The last card was talking about spiritual events. So if this is, you know, I when I'm reading three cards, this is previous, you know, maybe having that desire to move on. This is telling you you just got to let go of stuff. We need to release, let go. What is it that you're holding on to that you know you just need to let go of? But there is a sense of a spiritual transformation as well in this. And I do believe that we are moving into that higher phase of a spiritual, the new earth, or the you know, the next phase, moving into that age of Aquarius, if that's what you want to call it. But this new stage that we're moving into will be a lot more about spirituality and connectivity, connecting with people, not none of that top-down structure, which is crumbling right now. You know, big systems are crumbling. Watch out for that. I can't wait for that. But there is a feeling of a time to, it is time to move now. And we, for this weekend, make a decision. What is it you want to let go of? What is it that you're putting your attention on that you might be stuck in for a period of time? What is it you need to let go of? Hello, Glenn Strinder, resonating with that. I thank you. Yeah, tired. I'm not sure who you are because it's not showing me. You've got to let Facebook um, to click on the link to let Facebook use your name. But anyway, thank you. Um, so yeah, so we need to release and let go of that. This weekend, I would definitely spend, and even up to Monday, you know, Tuesday morning, I am going to do a meditation for the new moon. I am supposedly going away. I'll be away on Monday and possibly for the week camping, but I have to say it's flipping awful the weather here, and I am not camping in the rain. So that's open wherever I go. But I will put in a meditation and send the link, put the link in my in this, wherever you're watching this, I'll put the link for that meditation so that you will be able to download it yourself, just play it. Okay, move the eight of fire. Funny now that we got two eights, actually, the first card and the last card, and the first card was watery and releasing, and that was all about Paula, good to see you, and TJ, lovely. So hot here. It was hot here yesterday, but this is Ireland. It changes so dramatically, so quickly. In fact, it was pouring rain this morning, and then the sun came out at lunchtime. I was able to sit outside, and as I was finishing my lunch, I was taking in the chair cushions because it was raining again. Anyway, at least I got out. So anyway, sorry. So the eight of water, an eight in numerology is about abundance. Don't forget that sort of, the infinity sign. So it's continuing. So actually, that desire to move on and whatever. What do we want to leave go of so that you can have an abundance of something else? But this is the eight of fire. And fire is, they're passionate cards, your passion, your purpose. What is it that you want to move forward with? And events may be moving at a very fast pace. This is so relevant to what's happening, which I'll tell you in a moment with the new moon. Delays are over now. Yippee! I can't wait for this. Many things happening at once. Okay, in astrology, I have to tell you that the next 6 months could be tumultuous, crazy, fast, moving really incredibly, and a huge amount of, like, Mars at the moment is out of bounds. I won't go into explaining what that is because I'm not an astrologer, but this is relevant at the moment. There comes a feeling with it that a little bit out of control. Mars is already kind of can be aggressive, can be assertive, and we can balance that. This is what our job here is, to be able to balance our emotions, be able to, instead of reacting in anger, breathe, building your bubble around yourself, and then speaking your truth with passion and much more power when you come from a place of assertiveness rather than aggressiveness. So, but this card, many things happening at once, delays over, letting go of the old and moving into the future. Woohoo! Can't wait for that. And on that note, I'm going to actually, I've written my notes on a document. I'll take them up here because I will never forget or remember all of these. It's so much happening. So Cancer. All right. So the sign of Cancer is very it's that sort of nurturing, it's mothering, it's, if you can think of, the sign for it is a shell, it's a crab. So a lot of emotions, and there's a sense that cancer, we need to be protective. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't have to be a Cancer, because we're all going through this Cancer new moon or phase of Cancer right now. So we will have that. You have that at somewhere in your birth chart if you want to. Might Anybody can download a free birth chart from any astrologer. I love Ham Gregory. I love Tanya Gabrielle. I love Astrolada. There are many, many more. I got one done from a beautiful lady, Bonnie Gillespie. I'm not sure, does she do that though? I think she does it more for clients. But every astrologer will come up with slightly different but the same things. You can get it done anywhere, and you'll know where that sign fell in your birth chart. Pam Gregory has a very reasonable little course that you can do, a two-part series to actually learn about where yours is and what that means to you on every single zodiac reading, or every time she puts in a new post, you'll be able to find out what that means to you. But at the moment, we're all going to feel that emotion because the moon is emotion in a way, and the moon and the sun are both in Cancer. So if you can, we'll that, again, going back to the crab and that feeling of protectiveness. We want to feel secure in our shell, but we also can be really, and that feeling of the it kind of stands up for its family, for its loved ones. That's that feeling from Cancer, nurturing, home, motherhood. So that's where the sun and the moon are. Um, Okay, let me see. So at the moment as well, there is a conjunction between Mars and Eris. Eris is one of the outer planets in the Kuiper belt, and they're conjunct. They're conjunct at the moment, during the moment of the new moon, and it is very, very tense energy. Mars is that warrior, passionate energy, and it's out of bounds, which would give a feeling a little bit of out of control. Eris is so-called the sister of Mars, also a warrior, a goddess of standing up for the underdog. Really fights for equality. It's like a street fighter sort of energy. And Aries, then they're both in Aries, and the Aries is about sovereignty and your independence, um, and which I speak a lot about. So all of that energy together might bring some sort of impulsiveness, of willfulness, hot power plays, asserting your individual needs, but it could also play out over the world stage. The individual versus perhaps a top-down system, a government. So I'm not going into that. I don't want to get stuck in any of that, but just what does that mean for you? The sun and the moon. Now, this is something I've only heard recently, and I've never come across it. But I was watching Pam Gregory talking to another chap about um, Black Moon Lilith. Now, Black Moon Lilith moves and spends 9 months in each of the charts, and it's not a thing. I can't describe it. If you want to know more, follow Pam Gregory. But what it does is it's conjunct at the moment the sun and the moon. And Black Moon Lilith is about our deepest, darkest secrets, our society's deepest, darkest secrets. It's murky, it's dark stuff, okay? And because the sun and the moon are conjunct on that, they're shining the light on that sort of stuff. So there can be a lot of things that can come up at the moment, and it can bring up a lot of emotion. And there is emotion in a way with all of this being in Cancer. It can also be relevant to mothers and babies because Black Moon Lilith is associated with a dark side of, yeah, I'm not even going to go into it, but it can be it can have a lot of tumultuous energy, um, and Jupiter is also in Aries, tightly squaring to the sun and the moon and Black Moon Lilith. And so Jupiter brings everything up, makes it bigger, shines the light on it. So, look, all we can do, and what I would advise you to do if you start to notice things that are coming up and seeing things, and yes, it might bring up anger, whatever, but we need to stand in our power and to use our anger in a positive way, to be able to be assertive and stand up and to be in our power, but not to lose the head. And we I always think of this old um it's like it's an old parable, okay, of a little bug in a rug. And I can't remember who I heard talking about this, but a little bug in a rug, and the little bug is wandering through this rug to try to find a crumb, okay, and he can't see where he's going, and he's just bumping into the tufts of hair. He's angered because he can't get to this, and he's struggling and angry. And if he only knew that he could climb up to the top and look at the pattern, and he'd be able to see that, and also rising above and seeing the whole pattern and understanding. It's a little parable, for us to be able to rise ourselves above, which for me is being grounded, which I always put into any of the new moon meditations, and also bringing yourself to your highest level. So I'm going to do something for Tuesday's new moon where we can raise ourselves up to our higher self, feel ourselves moving up, that shoot of light that comes in when I bring in the light, but maybe allowing ourselves to move above but remain grounded, and to be able to look down at ourselves and give ourselves a message. So I've been looking at that and thinking about what I'm going to do for that meditation. But I feel we will need to sort of be above, to stand in our power, but not to get to lose the head, not to get kind of emotionally, angrily involved, because there will be a lot, can be. I'm not saying that this is going to be disastrous. There's a lot of good things happening as well. Um, there is a great sensitivity, actually, because Jupiter expands potential for emotions, but it can also be, we can do that in a very loving way. It can be a very loving, protective, mothering feeling that we might get towards our family, our the people around us, our loved ones. There's a lot of very feminine yin and energy in this new moon, as well as some of that yang energy with that Mars kind of, and Aries. Plus we've got Pluto as well, don't forget, still in the last few degrees of Capricorn, which is very much about dissolving old structures, secrets, bringing secrets and dark deeds to light. I sound like I'm writing some sort of um, a horror here, but it's not going to be that. There is, we have the choice always about how we are going to view. So even if you feel people around you lose the head, I live with a very sensitive boy who, anytime there's tight or difficult conjunctions, I can see that he works out, he acts out, he gets angry. But when I recognize that, and when I am aware, and when I am balanced, and I am, connected to the earth and grounded and calm and have my bubble around me, which I tend to do before a new moon, especially a full moon. And when that happens, I'm then able to um, respond calmly to him rather than to react in haste or to do, whatever. Um, Neptune also is going retrograde on its stations retrograde. So we will feel that, we're feeling that already. It's going retrograde, stations retrograde. So it'll seem like it's stopped in the sky on the day of the new moon. Um, did I say there was something happening the day before as well? There is. I'm not sure if I said that. Oh yeah, that was the Mars and conjunct Eris. So that's from the day before, that big Mars Eris conjunction. But Neptune is going to station retrograde that day. And Neptune is a water sign. It's in Pisces, its own sign. It rules Pisces. And the higher level of Neptune is about wanting to reach higher states of consciousness, greater spirituality, maybe idealism, um, being in a community of like-minded people, connecting with others of like-minded, or source, that is the higher side of it. But there's a shadow side to everything, and the shadow or the lower side would be confusion. It's to do with drugs, diseases, toxicity, especially toxicity in water, because it's a water sign, secrets and deceptions. Now, that sounds like it's tying in with a lot of the other angles, but again, all I can say for this and before this new moon, ground yourself, um, relax, go inside, recognize what it is you want to let go of, and stay in your power. Our power, it's not in our anger or in our, our aggression or anything like that, or losing the head. Our power is when we drop from our head down into our heart and open up the heart, and really breathe into anything that's happening, and connect yourself to the earth in some sort of form, just closing your eyes, grounding yourself, building a bubble around you. You can do this yourself in seconds, and when you have that space around you, knowing that you're protected, calling on anything that you call on as a higher being or a higher light, or channels, or you know guides, angels, whatever it is, calling on that for protection, and just building a bubble around yourself so that you feel safe, like the shell of that crab for the Cancer. We're in the Cancer new moon. And also then allowing, allowing yourself to connect to your heart and recognizing that our heart is the light, is the love. And when we open that and feel that love and light, we're connected to all that is, and magic happens. Magic happens. Let me see who else is here. Tina, lovely to see you, and Rianne. I haven't seen you for a while, Rianne. I've been posting things in this Heart of Manifesting page for the last couple of months and not recognizing that actually I had. I can't remember what I turned off. The very lovely Gwen, who has done some of my social media for me, said it was turned off in some way. So actually, her notification, she wasn't getting any notifications. So you hopefully will start getting notifications because she fixed that for me. I'm about as tech savvy now as my husband, possibly even, who is actually not. Okay. There is one other thing coming up, and so it's what was the 1st of August is going to be. So Uranus is sort of conjunct the North Node at the moment. It's quite close. The North Node is where we're moving towards, and Uranus is higher mind again, awakening, the ruler of Aquarius, it's connected with that. So it can be very unstable energy, very higher mind, sudden, eruptive. But Uranus is about changes and awakening and moving into something of a higher mind kind of. And that it's going to be exact on the 1st of August. And as far as I know, it's Mars joining it. I think the three are joining it together, and it's going to be, yes, Mars. We're going to feel this the week before and the week after the 1st of August. So I will talk more about that as we're coming up to it. But it would be, it would be something to kind of, this is one of the most, the biggest events apparently of this year, according to a lot of astrologers that I've been watching. It's going to be quite dramatic. So it can be impulsive, dramatic, eruptive, explosive, around possibly cyber currencies, the internet, banking, huge truth and awakening. But I don't know much more than that because they haven't spoken too much more about it. So I will leave you no more in advance of that. And what I do is I take this information from these people and I put what we need into a meditation. So do tune in on Tuesday. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to do it here and just do it in advance and post it, or whether I'll actually make it as an MP3 that you can actually download yourselves, because it might be a good one to keep. So I'm just, for the end, I'm going to read a couple more cards from, sorry, what did I do? You should see my desk. It's getting messier and messier, actually. What I did is I struck a tuning cord by accident, which I clear my space with. Obviously my space needs to be cleaned. It did it itself. Okay, okay. 3 cards, please, for the weekend. Any more insights? What else do we need to do that I have forgotten to say? Right, of course. Okay, so priorities is is first that has come out. So going back to, and if you've just come on, go back to the beginning where I read the first 3 cards because they were very relevant to this new moon. So what we need to do about that releasing and letting go, on the next few days, you may feel tired, as I said, you may just, and listen to your body. If you need to lie down, if you need to rest, always go with it and do a meditation or something, because you will work better from doing that. But look at what you want to let go of, and make a list of priorities. What do you most want to release and let go, so that you know before the new moon what you want to take action on, what you want to make as your new intentions and your new wishes for the next month at least. Um, so this is really about just getting in touch with your inner wisdom and listing that out. Um, the second card is not forgetting, which is it's a perfect time for you to start new projects, access, new ideas. This is the card that I would always associate with the new moon, and the new moon is about setting new intentions, new wishes, desires, making decisions about, okay, look, think of it as draw a line in the sand. Make your priorities. What is it that you want to take action on? Draw a line in the sand. I am done with this. And then you make your intentions around that. And intentions are the things that you can take action on. You decide, I'm going to do this. Big difference between an intention and saying I want to, or I must, or I should. I intend to has power behind it, and you decide, and then you do that, and then the wishes. Your wish is something that you want the universe to help you with. When you set those intentions and you work towards them, you then also have this big wish, the big desire, and build your ideas about that and around that, and do what you can then to make that a reality. Um, um, make your vision board. I have a vision board workshop. Some of you watching this have that, and I'm in the process of upgrading it, and I may do something more, because the one I have made myself now is a video vision board, and it's very effective, hugely effective. I intend to watch it every day. Sometimes I don't, I have to admit, but when I do, I just feel so aligned with what I want, and I just get giddy with excitement because it's there in front of me. And the music, anything just makes me, it lights me up. That's what we should feel about our wishes. We should feel that sense of excitement. And then the last one is be strong. So this I had, and I'm reckoning this is to do with all of that Mars energy. Build your strength. Use the use the side that, and also with that Cancerian energy, which the full moon, the new moon, the moon and the sun are in Cancer. you know okay, make sure you know your boundaries. What are your boundaries? The crab is the symbol, as I said, of Cancer, and she likes to be protected and she likes to protect others. But also the shadow side is kind of, shrinking away and hiding behind a stone and not actually doing what you want to do. So be strong. Be strong, and the way to be strong is to have boundaries, to know what you will and won't accept, to be clear, and to, even if it is to build that bubble that I put into all my meditations, to just have that as a boundary. But before you need to do something, center yourself, build your boundaries, feel safe, and be strong. Be strong and be powerful, because you are stronger than you think. We are. Oh my God, we are so much more powerful than we think. And somebody posted me and sent me just a little link yesterday um, about that. And if you only knew how beautiful, how wonderful, how powerful you are, if you could see yourself as the divine sees you, in other words, you know, we are magical. We are absolutely magical. And that is where I feel my next thing that I'm making is going to be on showing people just how powerful and magical you all are. Okay, on that note, I don't want to keep this too long, because it is the weekend and I have a duck marinating that I want to put into the oven for tonight. So who else have I not seen here? Yes, be bold, Tina, exactly. TJ, I love it when you remind me that my shell is a boundary, not to hermit it away. Exactly. That is lovely. And I didn't remind you of that. The cards did. I'll read one more law of attraction card. This is Esther and Jerry Hicks law of attraction card. And really, I need to get out of my own way and make my own cards. I've just been procrastinating on that forever. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to choose one. I understand the rules of the game of life. Love the colors of this. I understand the rules of the game of life. And the rules of the game of life are the spiritual laws, the 11 spiritual laws, or some people have broken them down to even more. I know Deepak Chopra had 7 spiritual laws for success or something like that, but basically it is these universal laws. Now that I understand the rules of this game of eternal life, now that I understand the powerful law of attraction and deliberate creation, I can prepave segment by segment my life experiences into becoming the allower, allowing it to happen, the allower I was born to be. For I was designed to live, for I was destined to a life of fulfillment and never-ending joy. How does that feel and resonate? I mean, when you prepave and build your life in little segments, and I suppose that is in resonance with the card. I can't even find it now. Yeah, the priorities card. Make a list this weekend of what you're done with, what you don't want anymore, if that's where you need to start. Forgive, release, and let it go. Write them down, burn them, let them go into the air. Before you burn them, turn it into the positive. So everything that you don't want, that you are done with, put it into the positive on another sheet, and sort of say, I am happy and grateful now that, and say it like it's in the present tense. I am so happy and grateful now that I am blah blah blah, and burn safely. I'll not take responsibility for any house fires. Burn the first one as a ritual. Let it go, and then look at that list. And what do you need to do in that list? What are the actions that you need to take? You might need to brain them the whole lot of actions that you need to take, or that you want, better word, to take, that you intend, better word again, to take, and then take them segment by segment, or prioritize them. What is the one thing that you need to start with? What one thing that you could do would actually make a lot of the others unimportant? Do the hardest first. Really do the ickiest, hardest things first. Okay, so looking forward to your special magical cards. You need to keep me accountable for that, and I haven't painted at all. But yes, I am allowing myself to do that. Actually, I might do something around that for the new moon. Okay, my lovelies, have a fabulous weekend. Have a fabulous new moon, but you will hear from me before then. And yeah, bye for now.